Um,
There we
okay.
go. All right. Welcome to the New Moon Chat.
Yay, I'm so excited. My first one.
Your first
Yay!
one. We're so
Actually,
excited to have you.
yeah, me too. But we did something similar to this in Costa Rica, I think. So first digital one.
First
Yeah,
digital. That's right.
exactly.
So, welcome to the New Moon Chat. It's hosted by Luna's Vault, where every single month we take a topic and discuss our intentions of that topic throughout the entire lunar cycle. And this month, it's comfort versus reality. And we'll go through the details of the moon throughout the month. So whether you are doing this in real time with us or any time throughout the year, you could still utilize this topic and manifest with the moon with us. But we'll go through the moon details. We'll talk about the energies that are inspiring this and the astrological happenings of this entire month to come. And we're going to learn a few eco tips and tricks and how to connect with Mother Earth. And we might play a couple little games, maybe some word association if time allows. And then, of course, there'll be lots of chatting, what we're going to do, and set our intentions for this entire month. So let's go around with some introductions. I am Ember Tyler. I am in Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-owner of Luna's Vault and a bit of an organizer for manifesting with the moon. That's what I love to do. So, Christine.
Hi, I'm Christine Lacayo. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. And what are we doing? How do you feel?
Your business. Now we're skipping
Okay.
that. Let's
Yes.
do a plug. Get a plug in there.
Business owners. So I just started a business copywriting and content creating for sustainability and wellness businesses.
Nice,
And
Stacia.
I'm loving it so far. I'm working with you two beautiful ladies, Kathy and Kim.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah, so it's been going good.
Yes, it has. Stacia?
Oh, hi, I'm Stacia Shepida. I am calling in from Boston. I am a government worker, but aspiring filmmaker as well. And yeah, we all met in Costa Rica and had the best time ever. So I just wanted to call in because I miss you all. Aw,
Oh, so
love
good
that
to
you're here.
see you.
Mm,
So good to see you. All right,
nice to
Kathy, grab your introduction and then set us off with the little candle ritual when you finish.
All right. I am Kathy Marie Howell, and I am in Lexington, Kentucky. And I'm also known as the Connection Mentor. I am an intuitive energy guide and a health coach. So with that, I will set our intention is if you have a candle, please feel free to light it. So I'm going to have to do a match since I don't have my actual lighter. So let me light my match here. Let this flame represent the wild spirit which burns within each of us. As we awaken our own wild spirit, we awaken the collective spirit. And we'll set that aside in a safe place to help with our intention here. So there you go. Thank you.
Thank you. The focused energies of comfort versus reality to pull in what we're really talking about, just kind of like the bird's eye view of this. It's all about the Cancer Zodiac sign. It's about the root chakra and protection. And pulling all of those together, the theme comfort versus reality came into play. And the comfort versus reality, it's kind of an interesting little topic because it applies to Kathleen. Hi. Oh, it's so good to see you. Okay, we're working on audio. Okay.
Hey.
There you are. Hi. Good
Hey,
to see you.
I'm sorry. I just saw your email and I apologize. I haven't been in touch. It's been a little crazy around here. But
Well, I'm glad you made it.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. So.
Yes, yes. Okay. So Kathleen, do a little introduction.
Yeah. So my name is Kathleen, and I am in Peachtree Corners, Georgia. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys are talking about, and jumping in, at some point.
Well, Kathleen, I think you know Kathy. I think you know Christine. Stacia, you two have not met, so it's good that you two meet. Stacia's in Boston and was at our full moon retreat in Costa Rica.
Oh, great.
Kathleen would have been, however, she was in, were you in Australia or Iceland? I forget.
Yeah. Back
Iceland,
then
maybe.
we were taking our girls on a college tour, for spring break. But then I did go to Australia and New Zealand last month, and then I'm going to Europe this next month. And
fun!
It's like great, and I just sort of like had a little bit of a panic attack with my husband because I'm having, I don't know, that just always happens to me before a bunch of trips. Like I just kind of,
that anxiety bubbles up.
Like I never feel prepared. And, so, I mean, the main thing is like, I just want to be present, and I'm just, like this chat is great because this always helps to get present or figure out how to do that.
This will be a fun topic. This will be a fun topic for you to.
Yeah.
When do you leave?
Well, I leave for Chicago tomorrow, and then as soon as I get back, then we go to London. And
so within the next week or two?
Yeah. So I'm leaving tomorrow for 3 weeks, basically.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
This is your topic for the month for this.
Yeah.
This would be a good grounding intro.
Yeah.
What Kathleen didn't say, we did our introductions a minute ago, but we were just kind of telling everybody like what we did, like where our passions are. And I will speak for you for a split second, but Kathleen, please jump in. I thought, Stacia, you might find this interesting because she's a filmmaker.
Really? That's amazing.
Oh.
I've been learning a lot about filming lately, and it's something I've become really excited about. So that's amazing. I would love to hear about some of the projects you've worked on.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm mostly documentaries and things. So yeah,
That's
in fact,
amazing.
when I'm in Paris this next month, I'm gonna visit my old. I went to photography school in Paris. Like that's how I got my training and stuff. So I'm looking forward to reconnect.
So excited.
Yeah, my teachers and stuff.
That's amazing. Yeah, I would love to see some of the films that you've worked on.
Cool. Yeah, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, please send them. I would love to see.
Yeah. So I apologize for being late. I can't remember what the context for the call was. I guess I'll look at the.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We were getting into that when you popped in, so this is perfect timing.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Comfort versus reality, kind of where that came from.
Oh, great.
Are you having trouble, Christine?
I am. I'm trying to light my candle again, and I can't get any of the matches.
Oh, right, the candle.
But it's okay. You can keep going.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. Comfort versus reality. So this is something that came up a couple of moon cycles ago. And it came up in some preparation for, our circles. And it was my spiritual teacher, one of them. And it was just like a random thing or seemingly random thing that she said in a hour-long video, and it stuck. It's not what the topic was about, but it stuck. Comfort versus reality. Mm-hmm. And it kept coming back and kept coming up. And I kept seeing it through all these different lenses and different viewpoints, that it really connected with every aspect of my life, especially when we're talking about something happening, something very grounding, something very home-based. So when we hit the Cancer energy, and we are now in the Sun Zodiac sign of Cancer, when we hit that, I realized it was the perfect connection. And to incorporate the root chakra and protection, those protective boundaries, ones that we put up in cement and those that we put up of weak little walls that we can tear down at any time. It was just the perfect combo of all of it. Not to mention, because since something never leaves your brain and shows up over and over and you don't take the time to explore it, why not create the time to explore it? So hence, we're manifesting with the moon for comfort versus reality. Now, the Cancer energy is all about I feel. It's very emotional. This is a water sign. So incorporating all of that, the crab is the symbol. And incorporating all of this, they being the Cancer sign themselves, the archetype itself is all about just sensitivity and feeling and emotions and instincts, habits. They're most comfortable at home. And the home is the castle. And they carry their home with them, the crab, the shell, you know, the protective home is really important. So whether we're talking about Mother Earth, whether we're talking about literally our house that we live in, where we lay our head, or we're talking about the home of our sensitivity, our emotions, all of this, as in water, flows. And to be in tune with it and to flow with it instead of creating these boundaries and dams that stop the flow. All right, that's what it's all about this month. The ruling planet for Cancer is Moon. So I think all of us kind of enjoy that. Mm-hmm. And all of us listening will be too. The manifest with the moon. We're really going to focus in on the moon and the cycles of the moon as we work through this. And this is the fourth house is what the Cancer is all about, of holding the keys of how we integrate with our environment. Once again, whether that means where we lay our head at night or Mother Earth itself. The time, the moon details. Like I said, for those that aren't manifesting with us at this moment during this month, you could do this at any time, but we're talking about the new moon, starting the new moon on July 2nd at 3:17 p.m. Eastern time. So that is the peak of the new moon. And we've got some exciting things happening this month. Mercury goes retrograde during all of your travel, Kathleen. You're gonna love this. But we're flowing like water with it. So that'll be very helpful.
When does it go into retrograde?
The 7th, July 7th.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it will last for this entire month. So we're in the pre-phases right now, but it's official on the 7th. And then we also have a lot of eclipse. We kick off the eclipse season this month too. So we'll have lunar and solar eclipses occurring. And in all the areas that we live in, we're not going to have anything in the United States that's obvious. But it is happening throughout the world. And it is that time that there's a lot of activity occurring right now. All right. How's everyone feeling? Now's the good time to go around and throw a word out there or a phrase out there, or just let loose with what's on your mind of like, how do you feel right now? Anybody want to go first?
I'm feeling pretty sleepy. I could use a little nap.
Yeah, I've been feeling a little bit off for like the past 2 days. I don't know. I was just like running around and feeling really anxious before this, and I was like, kept getting lost, and I don't know. I was concerned that I wasn't going to get back here at the same time. So now I'm sort of just like trying to release all of that, and I definitely am feeling better now. I made some tea, but it's been like a weird like past 3 days.
I've honestly, I've just been feeling kind of panicked. I've been really productive. I've had to make a lot of decisions, but I just have so many more decisions in front of me to make. And I'm kind of I don't know if you guys are into the Myers-Briggs, like types or anything, but like they have like this one category, it's like J versus P. And one is judgment versus perceptive or something. And I'm definitely perceptive. Like I see all the shades, but I have a really hard time making a decision. You know, it's so seeing all the shades is great because it kind of allows me to be empathetic. But it also can kind of have me kind of clutch, you know, when I have a lot of choices in front of me. So I love the visual of the water that you're talking about. You know, that maybe kind of, especially if we're going into retrograde, like that there's going to need to be a lot of going with the flow, maybe is what I need to kind of keep the context. So just in case there's lots of changes or maybe things are, you know, who knows what happens, you know, when you travel and everything, but just not to get too attached to plans and things like that.
Yeah.
I feel excited. There's lots of great things going on. There's always something going on in my life. Like I guess I'm really good at handling lots of distractions and things like that, because there's always, I think, you know, I really think about like everything, number one, but anyway, from there, like the people that don't have children and don't have like a lot of I won't say distractions because it's not really it, but yet it is whenever, you know, because as soon as your family calls or whatever, then it's like you stop immediately and you change your plan. So it really helps to be, I am a water sign, and so it really helps to be in the flow and to really just go with it, because Kathleen, you weren't here, but when my family just left, like literally 10 minutes before I got on the call.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, all right. And that was after a full weekend of Pride Festival starting on Thursday night, and just lots of energy and lots of exciting things going on. And then of course, working on launching my business, which I've been doing for years and years, but I think it's actually going to happen this time. So I'm super excited. I know, right? I'm super excited about that. So, and then launch programs and all this other good stuff. So very exciting.
Excited is the word. Huh?
It is. Yeah. Excited.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited about this topic. And especially, you know, if anyone wants to throw in last month, if anything that they were feeling or want to reiterate on, since we went through the entire month of revitalizing the village, that was a topic that was really difficult for me. Like I wanted to backpedal out of that topic. I did not like it, to be quite honest. And it's interesting when, you know, I feel like at one point there's got to be a topic that just is kind of boring to someone, right? And some that are, you know, you're seriously passionate about. And it feels almost like this ebb and flow of last month was absolutely not cross. No, I do not want to talk about this. And there's probably a reason why. I worked through a little bit of that I'll touch on, but it was this one. I had just as much excitement over this as lack of from last month. So, and a few of the reasons being, one, because it kept coming up, and because to see how many different aspects of life it touches on and how it means something different, where comfort versus reality, at one phase you can look at it and the comfort is the positive aspect and the reality is the negative, and other times it's completely opposite. where another phase that you'll look through, another aspect of your life you'll look through, the reality is the positive aspect, and the comfort is what's holding you back. So it's just really interesting. And sometimes they're both positive, and it's two ways to look at it, or sometimes they're both negative and you have to weigh the balances. I just love how this is going to flow throughout the entire month. And there's a few things that I really loved about it and it's silly stuff. It's silly stuff that excites me. The stones, the colors and the stones of this month are something that and that is in the socks, something that we'll share with everyone that is not on the call, the system of correspondences. But the colors and the stones make me extremely happy. And I love working with these stones too. And I love working with these colors. And that is red, silver, and black. Those are the colors. The stones, red jasper. You can't see any of this in my terrible onyx, moonstone, and red jasper. Together, they are so powerful and visually stunning together.
Where's the moonstone? Can you show that one again?
I'll try to put it maybe somewhere on the dark side of my screen. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, pretty.
Hard to do.
Very pretty.
So for that reason alone, I'm very excited. And for this reason too, and that is, Christine, you're going to take us into this, that is the connection with Mother Earth and working with the flow of the emotional aspect of my life and what is happening now, and what I'm asking everyone to take a look at during this month, and how to connect that with Mother Earth. Yeah. So Christine, if you want to.
Yeah, perfect. So I have been really excited about this theme as well. When you mentioned it to me, I think it was last week or a couple weeks ago, how we're exploring our relationship with our home, with Mother Earth, with our surroundings. And so I'm super excited just to share some general insight and knowledge about caring for our environment and our natural ecosystems around us. Because I think it is important to tune in to ourselves. Caring for ourselves, self-love, self-acceptance also helps us care for our environment and for our world around us and others around us too. So it's like a win-win on both ends. So I want to just start off by saying, I guess painting the reality of what we are, going back to comfort and reality of where we are today. So when scientists say, if carbon dioxide emissions keep rising, and if we keep going at the rate that we're going, the average temperature of our Earth could go up another 4 to 8 degrees by the end of the century. That basically means that our planet is seriously on fire. And I mean, it's only getting hotter. Every year has become the hottest year on record since the previous year. I don't know if you saw, Stacia, when I mentioned in our WhatsApp group, how just the other day in Paris, it was like the hottest day on record. Yeah, it was like 115 degrees or 113 degrees or something. They're going through a massive heat wave right now in France. And there was like climate activists out, protesting and just sitting in silence and just, there being peaceful. And the police were tear gassing them like if they were just bugs or terrorists or something. I mean, it was awful to see that. And so you really start to wonder where we're going, like what is this path that we're going on? Every year, so then I was reading more studies, we've put 1 million animal and plant species now on the threatened and extinction list. This report came out this year. We're seeing more and more massive threatening natural disasters around the world. And so if we continue to go at this rate, I oftentimes wonder what type of world our children are going to grow up in and our children's children. So there's a lot of positive news out there as well of what we can do and how we can help and change and make recommendations for fighting climate change. I was reading this awesome article by Bill Nye, where he recommends his top 3 actions to take against fighting climate change and against caring for our environment. So his number 1 is vote. So he says always, it's so important for us right now to really as citizens to really be present and vote for and elect officials and representatives to really understand the urgent care that we need to reduce carbon emissions, to implement, to find solutions for renewable energy and clean air and clean water. So really putting yourself out there and reading about what's going on, especially with the elections coming up. His number 2 is think critically. So it means, taking all the information that you're receiving and not taking it for face value, but really just asking the questions, understanding the context, not just taking the information and just taking, what people are telling you, maybe getting second opinion, especially with today and age where we're getting all this information, download of information from all sorts of walks of life and platforms and online. So it's really important just to train ourselves and our minds to, and our future generations too, to be critical thinkers. And then his last one was take an action. So every choice that we make, you all know this, impacts and affects someone else around the world. So kind of getting outside of where we live in a bubble, but more of like how we connect with everybody else around the world. And this could be taking any small action, because I really do believe like all of our small actions and all of our small efforts really do make a difference on the big impact. So maybe looking at your life and seeing what ways you can improve. And I'm about to share a little bit about how I've done that since the start of the year. But it can mean any small action, like maybe taking a bike to work more often, or taking the bike to the grocery store, eating less meat, or just small individual choices. And, nobody's perfect. We all contribute to climate change and to what's going on around the world in different ways. But I think that maybe just looking at individual actions and how you can improve will also make you feel better about the reality that we're living in. So I wanted to share what I've been doing. So at the beginning, and then I want to hear from you all too. So I'm not going to talk this whole time. So I want to share that at the beginning of the year, I decided I always look for ways of how I can improve and become more environmentally friendly and just improve in what I'm doing and using and consuming. And so I noticed that I'm using a lot of plastic in the bathroom. And I think it's just like, it's inevitable. There's plastic everywhere, So I started trying to find different products and how I can find plastic-free bathroom products. I want to share with what I found. So I have a little bamboo toothbrush that you can just compost at the end of its life cycle. And it's easy, it's cheap. You can get this online anywhere, or even in your like local grocery store. I'm sure they have them. I also have like a bamboo comb. So I tried, getting rid of a plastic brush or a plastic comb that I used to have. And then these, I don't know if you all have heard of this company. It's called Bite toothpaste bits. And so I was really trying to find a way of getting rid of a plastic toothpaste tube. And so this company is amazing. They're out of California, and they create these natural little toothpaste bits. I don't have them to show you because I just ran out. I'm waiting on the next one. But they come in a glass jar, and it's like a little natural toothpaste bit, and you just put it in your mouth and scrub, and it becomes foamy. So I loved that. And the other one is this is a refillable deodorant, natural deodorant. So I've always tried to look for good natural deodorants. They never work for me because I can still smell it myself. So finally found this one. It's called Myro, and I love it. It just smells delicious, and it's natural ingredients that they make as well. And this thing is, when you toss out your deodorant, it's plastic as well. So this is refillable. You use it, put it in the dishwasher, and you just buy the capsule and you put it in. So I loved that idea.
How do you spell that?
M-Y-R-O. Myro.
I'm sorry, you cut out, or I did.
M-Y-R-O.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the one. And the other thing here is, I think I have 6 items to show y'all. 2 more. So this is, I'm sure you all know this as well. I think Stacia used one as well. Safety razors. I love it. And I think this was like really popular back in the day, like in World War II era with men, but now it's becoming more and more popular with women as well. And just, I never have to buy a plastic razor anymore. Plus they're so expensive. Razor heads are super expensive. So this is just like forever. And you just buy the blade and you put it in.
And it's helped me with razor burn a lot.
Has it? Yeah.
Yeah, like significantly.
Well. Yeah, interesting. And then this little guy, sorry if you guys think this is gross, but this is a Lena cup. Stacia, I think you use one too.
No, I actually haven't tried it yet.
No, you haven't? Okay. Well, I
No.
love this period. It's a period cup. And it's literally changed my life forever. I will never use a tampon or a pad again. Seriously, it's so easy because first of all, there's a lot of studies that have come out showing all of the stuff that these tampon companies are putting in their tampons. And so it's not really healthy for you anyway. And then you throw it out. And so this is, reusable as well. You use it, you wash it out. I mean, I've absolutely loved it. And you don't even feel it in there. So for me, it's been a huge, a huge difference. In my
What is it made with?
This is made out of silicone.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you just, clean it out, boil it to keep it clean. And it actually, for me, I don't really have a heavy period at all. So it's fine. Like it doesn't overflow at all. And I've left it in there for like 7 hours before, and then it's fine. Yeah. So I encourage y'all to look in your life and see what ways you can improve. And I also want to go around and hear from you all. If you want to share something that maybe you commit to implementing in your life on becoming a little bit more environmentally friendly or becoming more conscious of the environment. And it can be something so tiny and small, it's just something that you've looked at and have noticed.
I have a question, and if you may know Christine, and if you don't, there's someone in our Manifest with the Moon Facebook group that brought this up a long time ago, and I still haven't used it, but it has, it's like an all natural, I think it's a ball of something, and you use it in the washer. It's like a soap.
Oh, soap nuts.
Soap nuts. Okay.
Soap nuts.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're like these little seed things. Like they're these little balls, and then they're reusable and they clean your clothes.
Yeah, and they last for a really
that.
long time, like 50, 100 loads, something like that, a really long time.
Wow.
Have you used it?
No, I haven't. I've never used one. You have, Stacia?
Yeah, they work well. I don't remember what happened with mine. I think they're at my mom's house, and I was just like using hers. But yeah, they work really well. You can just buy them on Amazon, and it ends up being very cost effective as well. So.
And it's like a replace for detergent.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
And I think it's just soap nuts is what they're called.
I'll write that down. Well, that is something else that comes in huge plastic containers.
Yes, exactly. I know that also brings a memory or reminds me of the shampoo balls that they make through Lush, I think, because one thing that I haven't been able to find, because I always want to look for natural products as well, not a lot of chemicals. And so my shampoo, I haven't been able to find a good one, and it's always in plastic containers. So I know that Lush makes those balls as well, the little balls, and you just put it in your hair.
Yeah, I want to try one of those too.
Yeah. But yeah, so, going back to comfort versus reality, kind of maybe getting outside of our comfort zone and trying new things and taking that extra step just to be more conscious of what we're doing around the world. I think a lot of times we get bombarded with all this negative news with the environment, and it can be really daunting and really depressive. But I always try and look at it in the way like, okay, well, there's so much opportunity then, that there's so much potential of where we can go with this and how we can divert the reality that we're living in. So, Stace, do you want to share something?
Yeah, for me, so I'm thinking about like what I can change, moving forward this month that could be better for the environment. And I was actually thinking so I've fallen into the habit, which is really bad, of buying takeout at work because I'm just like too lazy to cook. So I was actually thinking, my intention, and I sort of thought about this a few days ago, is that I really want to start getting back into the habit of cooking, taking the time to like batch cook for the week. And I was actually thinking of it more in the way that like taking that time can be meditative and comforting, and you're spending time in your home rather than, going out and just buying food that's like quick and easy from the grocery store or whatever, like takeout food, I mean. While also doing something that's good for the environment. So I think that definitely falls into my plan for this month, and it's also really good for saving money. So
I love that plan. It's also fun to incorporate, like maybe putting it into your your weekly whatever, your weekly intention to maybe go to like the farmer's market to look like, oh, what do I want to cook this week? Like that's fun too, you know?
There's actually a pretty nice garden here, so I was thinking about that too. Like, what can I make specifically with food from the garden so that I can
Something local.
save even more money?
I love that. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Stacia.
Cool.
Tomatoes are one of the foods for this month.
Ooh,
So you'll have to incorporate that. Yeah.
Nice. I have quite a few tomato plants, so that's really good.
Yeah.
I need to get my charger.
Yeah. Kathy, do you want to share anything?
Sure. So I've been doing lots of stuff for some time. And last year I started with not purchasing new clothes, which is a big thing because that's, you know, as you well know from our environment, like the clothes are a huge polluter, like the new clothes. And so, and plus the fact that there's so much out there that, so just continuing with that, using less water, you know, trying to, when you turn the water on, use, you know, you don't have to pull it up full strength because so many times like that's just huge. And then turn it off when you're not using it. Same thing with the lights. We personally try to plant more of a natural landscape and encourage that so that, number one, to have the shade from the bigger trees, but a lot of times people don't understand that they can plant small, tiny trees that don't cost hardly anything if they cost at all. And then in a few years' time that they can make a huge impact on our environment. So I think being committed to the natural landscapes and the bringing that in is a good thing. So those are some things that I really have committed to doing for a while and want to continue and just, you know, as much ways, anytime that I can see something, try to implement that.
Love that. I love the natural landscapes. So I know there's a lot of advertisement here in Georgia about like planting more wildflowers and natural native to Georgia and, you know, to bring back the butterflies and the bees as well, which is, you know, always important.
Yes, definitely. That was something else that committed to making our yard a way station so it is for the monarch butterflies. And so to create those natural habitats because of the urban life that it's cutting a lot of that down. So
for sure.
I think it's good. And then empowering my children, teaching them. So some of the whenever I hear comfort versus reality, what a lot of times I think about is the old programming. And that's something that I'm very much try to work with people on, is to really, like what y'all were saying earlier, is think for yourself, you know, and question things, because so much of what we've been taught, or everything that we've been taught, is programming. And it depends on who you surrounded yourself. And sometimes we have choices. You know, growing up, we didn't always have a choice because, you know, we're at the mercy of whoever has provided that education, whether it be our parents or you know, our school systems and that type of thing. But as we move forward in this month, I think when we look at the programming part of put that filter in our mind, is like, is that, you know, the comfort versus the reality, is that an old program? What do we need to do with that? Is, you know, does it need to be filtered through that? So that's just my take on this subject here. So
nice. I love that. Thank you, Kathy.
So I thought I would just jump in real quick on this. Seeing as I'm going to be traveling, I was thinking, oh, well, how is that going to work with all the home stuff? And what occurred to me was, like I was just reading this morning about how much fossil fuel is used, how many carbon emissions are used when you fly somewhere. And how much that shrinks the ice, you know, like in the Arctic and all that, which is easy, obviously, to, I mean, you know, like if I didn't travel so much right now, then I wouldn't be adding all that. But one of the things that I looked up that you can do is, at least to help offset some of that, is the carbon offset. Like you can actually, like there are legitimate organizations that will where you can, you know, have them plant trees, and, you know, they're just looking at like ways to offset that which, you know, you're using when you're traveling by car and plane and all that. And it, you know, like you were saying, like it helps. So that's one thing. You know, when I go to places to use public transportation, not Uber, there's a thing I was looking at yesterday for my bicycle, for like when I get back. Like I was thinking, because I go to Trader Joe's a lot up the street. I mean, it's not very far. And I was thinking I could, on the back of my bike, I could attach one of those kind of trailer things that I could put my groceries in.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And, you know, just stop using Amazon for stuff that I could easily get at stores nearby, because all that packaging is ridiculous.
Right.
You know? And I guess with the packaging, I was looking at bags and things sometimes that sometimes when I forget to bring bags with me, like that I can shred that, the brown bags and stuff I can shred and put in my compost. And you know, it's just really, I think I heard this term, the 5 R's, to like help make a better world. We know recycle, but I think it's reject. So reject things, like when people offer you straws, just reject them, or what extra packaging, all that stuff. Reuse, recycle,
reduce.
What is it?
The other one's reduce.
Yeah, reduce. And there was one other R.
Reduce, reuse, reject, recycle. There's a 5th one? What's the other one?
There's a 5th one I heard about.
Okay.
Renew? Would it be like renew it into something else?
Would it make it into something else? Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds logical.
That makes sense. Yeah. So, yeah, those are a few things that, you know, just like when you're traveling, it's like, you know, and just obviously just be as gentle as possible and use less stuff. Like, I heard yesterday, a friend of mine made a documentary about this movement called Choose Fi or something like that. But the idea is people become financially independent and they can retire early. And really the point of it, it's not just so they can do whatever they want in their life. It's like to give themselves the freedom to do things that they care about. And that if people are doing things that they really care about, think about the impact on the world when people are happy. And oftentimes when people have extra time, they actually do volunteer and try to give back and all of that. And so, so one of the ways to become financially independent is to save a ridiculous amount of your paycheck and don't buy things, you know, like just as much as you can, just keep your expenses really low, you know. So I just am interested in kind of living more in that space, because I do know what an impact, especially first world people, make on the environment.
Well, I think it's great that you have you already have a list of things that you want to implement, and especially being conscious of how much you're traveling, you're already wanting to offset that by looking out for different organizations. I know that I had a coworker, or not a coworker, but one of our partners at the Earth Charter, who traveled literally all of the time, but he was doing, he's implementing climate parks around the world. So he's like doing good for the environment, but he's always on the plane. So he does have this like offset calculator or offset Excel file or something that I've been wanting to ask him for. And if I do get a hold of it, I can share with you all, because I think it's so interesting. You know, because it's inevitable that we're impacting the environment in a negative way in many different ways. So it's good to look for ways of how we can give back and make a, you know, net positive impact for the environment as well.
That's great.
Thank you, Kathleen. Kim?
Well, one of my favorite ways, and something that I haven't talked about in a while or shared, shout it out. So maybe it's time to become a little activist on this once again, and that is the cell phone impact and the mineral that there are certain minerals that are used to make cell phones that are found in areas of Africa that the mining that goes down impacts gorillas, and the fact that, gorillas are not quite as endangered as they used to be because of this, but they are still very, very close to it. So there is several programs out there to bring awareness to this, and the orangutans as well. Palm oil, making sure that I'm not using palm oil, and educating people about the use of that and how that is affecting the orangutan habitat. So once again, it's connecting my passions and my love, animals, and what you said, Christine, earlier about how quickly animals and plants are going extinct, and making those connections.
Yeah.
So that, and little bitty things. There's something the other day that I purchased that I haven't in many years, and that was a powdered, that it was an all natural powder dishwasher detergent that came in a cardboard like container that was completely recyclable, and if it wasn't even it is recyclable, but if even if the local area did not recycle it, it was compostable too. Right. So trying to find those little things of everyday life in the home that I can make those differences. So yeah, thank you for the tips on some of those, Christine. And
thank you, Kim, for allowing me to share.
Yeah, so that's going to be one of my to-dos, is connecting with the ape conservation and how and why they impact us.
There's
and what we can do about it.
Have you heard of the Fairphone?
I'm sorry, say that again.
The Fairphone?
No.
There's a phone that they make now out of Europe. I can't remember where. I think it's in Germany, maybe they make it. Well, the headquarters. And then I think it's just now open to the US market, but they make like smartphones out of like all ethically sourced materials. And they give back to the communities where they're taking those materials. So look into it if you're looking for a new phone, or I mean, in the future, if you need a new one and you don't want to make such a big impact with a smartphone, because I know that is very contaminating. All electronics.
Yeah, that's good info. Thank you.
Yeah.
And if anyone has phones that they're not using, you can recycle those at Zoo Atlanta, or send them to me and I will take them there.
I was wondering where to recycle electronics here. So Zoo Atlanta takes them? Okay. Yes. I have like a pile of stuff I need to take.
Yeah.
And Christine, if you have Mac products too, they recycle now.
Nice.
They do, don't they? They take back
Mac. Yeah, Mac just this year for Earth Day released like this really big recycling program. So now they'll take back whatever you have, and they have like this robot that will recycle and take out all of the natural resources and minerals that are just bad to just throw away. So
incredible. Yeah. That's good to know. Thank you.
That's really good to know. I'm so glad they did that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's all I have to share. Thank you, Kim, for allowing me to share. And I'm super excited to flow into this month, learning more from you all and from the moon energy as well, to connect back to Earth.
Well, take time over the new moon to really figure out what our action steps are going to be. We don't have to have them laid out right now, but during this time from the new moon to the full moon is the best time to take action. So what are some
The new moon is on the 2nd, right?
an option. I'm going to give you guys an option of which one you would rather do.
Oh, sorry, you cut out.
Yeah, I saw that. Is everything okay now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Let's take a vote. Would you guys rather do like a word association to kind of get our mindset into what we're going to do for the rest of the month, or would you rather play a little truth or dare?
I would like to play truth or dare. That's my vote.
Okay.
I'm easy. I do have to get off the phone or get off in 10 minutes, so I'll be watching the time. So whatever works, but I'll just say goodbye whenever.
Okay.
I have to go.
All right. Well, anybody else care?
Yeah, no, I'm good either way. That's truth or dare is fine.
Okay. Stage just checked out for a second. So, okay. Well, we'll play a few rounds of this because we'll also need to spend a moment with our action steps, which we kind of have already. We kind of know what we're going to do now. And we've got the awareness of what comfort versus reality can mean for us at this moment, but it'll be interesting to see how that changes throughout the month and how many ways we can use it. So let's please keep in touch and share some of these aha moments that we receive. But yeah, so for truth and dare, Kathy, since you have to go first, we'll let you start. Truth or dare?
Okay, I'll take dare.
All right. All right. Walk into each room of your home and do one thing to care for it. That's going to be your dare. And the reason I chose that for you is because Kathy, and I'm going to ask you to share throughout the month some of this information too, because you're the perfect person to talk to about how you connect Mother Nature with your home, the two together.
Okay.
So, so even that is your dare to do throughout this month, or at least over the next few weeks. And if you could share that with us, like what changes or what difference you make, but kind of educate us on why that piece of nature is in your home and why.
Okay. I'll add something right now. What I realized that I love collecting things, and I've always loved that. And I'm like, I guess I was like that gypsy in the past life, or hoarder, or whatever, but loving on things though. It's like that whole thing about, if you don't connect with it, then you need to release it or do something different. And I realized that I love to collect so much, and so many times not spending enough time just simply loving on something. And that's what I've been doing this last, it's like the last 2 weeks, the energy, I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but yeah, all of the energy shifts, but it's like really like clearing out and just simply just touching things and really remembering why they came into my life in the first place. And that's been really very cool. And I'm excited to do more of that, because it's one thing just to have things, but it's another to give them that love. And it's amazing the feelings that you get when you do that. It's just like having it all over again. One little piece is, I don't know if you guys have seen any of this on Facebook or not, but I had a gourd and I had all these shells, and I looked at the gourd and the gourd looked like a fish. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm going to make her a fish. So now she's Stella the fish. And going through that, so sorting out the shells. So everyone, it was like, oh gosh, I remember when we picked this up. And then it reminds me of the trip that we took and the family time and, all of these wonderful memories. And then I'm going to have Stella at the end, and she's going to look amazing. And it's going to bring back even more of so it's just going to be that collective memory, and just to put it to use instead of, because it's like, oh, I've got a stack of shells and they're wonderful and I love it, but you don't always look at them. But so now with my beautiful fish, I can go, oh yeah, like she's a collection from Naples, and fun. So I'll have to share her with y'all because she's amazing looking.
Oh, beautiful.
It's a perfect connection of everything of this month.
Yeah.
It is.
Water, crab. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And something too, I don't know, like Kathleen, it was funny, like you talking about making decisions, having a hard time, like, man, my decisions are like that. And, it's not, one's not better or worse or anything. It's just that I think because I'm such a thinker, like I'm the opposite of you, like I'm the thinker. So I'm like, all right, I got to make that decision and make it. But I've been wanting to go to the beach and I'm like, got to go to the beach, got to go to the beach. And then, then you worry about like finances or whatever, and it's like, oh, but everything that I teach is that number one about time, and then about money, like that it's all those are man-made things, and of course we need them. I mean, because everybody else works on these ways, then we have to we have to conform a little bit, but also it's like, you know what, if the beach keeps calling me that much, then I'm going to find a way. And amazingly, then the next day, Joe's like, I'll get a bonus check of what's going to cover our beach vacation and everything. And it's like, I love it. It was not on the radar whatsoever. And just cool things like that. Just so, just to not stress. I guess that's my biggest thing, is to love where you're at and love on what you have and not stress and go with the flow and see where your life leads you. Because stress doesn't help, and all those other things, it doesn't help.
It blocks the flow.
Right. Exactly. And then you start seeing all the pieces aligning in the perfect way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it feels good. So sorry, I did not mean to share all of that, but
no, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay. All right. If you still have a few moments, then Kathy will let you choose someone else and you do a truth or dare for them.
Okay. Let's see. All right, Kimberly, I'll do you then. Truth or dare?
Let's do a truth. I'll do a truth.
Okay. Let's see. If your home could speak a language, what would it say?
Okay, if my home could speak a language, it would say it's still connecting to the outer world, and it's still connecting to the energies within, the human energies within. So what I mean by that is that I like very simplistic stuff, but I like a very earthy element to it. And the energies of the people who live in here, sometimes that doesn't flow. So more artwork, more of nature, and utilizing that together, which would be really good for this month. That's an interesting question for the month. Yeah, to make all of those connections and have more energy of the earth inside my home and be more connected to the earth on the outside.
Beautiful.
Usually that does occur, but it hasn't this spring. I've been too busy. All of the outside living areas of my home have been completely ignored by me anyway.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a perfect month to start back up.
It is, yeah.
That feels good.
Also, I'm living with my sister right now, and her house has had like no plants and no greenery, and I'm like, we need to spruce this up a little bit. So I just went to Home Depot and bought a ton of plants for the house. So I'm like trying to also bring back the earth energy back into her home, and she's loved it. She's like, oh my gosh, it looks so great. I can't believe we haven't had plants in here. So I love that.
All right, Stacia, what about you? You want truth or dare? Oh, wait, I can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I said I will choose dare.
Okay. All right. Do one thing to care for each being you share your home with. Okay. That is an
Okay, so-
action. That's an action for you to take for this month. So you could share your thoughts on it now. But yes, that is your dare for the month.
Okay, that's going to be a good one for me because I've been getting a little bit frustrated where I am. So it's definitely something that I'll be keeping in mind throughout the month. Just sort of going into having that intention of doing something kind and not getting wrapped up in like little irritations. So I think that's a good one for me to have this month.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, who wants to be next? Or wait, Stasia, you give a truth or dare to Kathleen or Christina. Okay, which who wants to go next?
I'll go next. It's fine.
Truth or dare?
Truth. Yeah.
You have the list in front of you, Stage?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, can somebody else read it?
Yeah. So should I just pick whichever one?
Yeah, go ahead.
You said truth, Kathleen?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How do you feel when you're at home?
The first word that comes to my mind is peace. Peaceful. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. You know, it just occurs to me that, you know, with the whole theme of comfort versus reality, and that home makes me peaceful, that with the family reunion I'm going to in Chicago this week, and then Europe after that, like both places I've had a lot of history with. And I think sometimes like I get fearful to go back to places that I used to live in my past, or because things have changed, and I'm very sentimental about my memories, and I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think that there's just like, I just really need to, you know, because if I'm feeling, if I've been feeling ungrounded, I think like I just need to remember, I mean, about traveling, like that home is within me. Home makes me peaceful, and that I can be at home anywhere. And I think, you know, the truth of the matter is like I've got these great opportunities in front of me, and you know, and I think like just what's present for me is like I don't have to do a lot of running around and fulfill like a bunch of crazy expectations. I think I just need to really just get present and just allow myself to sort of have an adventure, you know. I think it's like when I was in Australia, we planned so many things, and I'm just tired of planning, you know. I just don't want to plan, you know, like I can spend so much time at home just having no plans and like, and just
Be entertained.
Yeah, just, and I'm entertained all the time.
I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
The same way, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what kind of comes up for me. So yeah, so I'm just going to bring that into my trip, is just being peaceful about what's going on.
Taking your home with you, the crowd.
Yes, exactly.
That's
really great. So
that's perfect for the month.
Yeah. So how about you, truth or dare?
Okay, dare. I'll take a dare.
Okay. Do you have, okay, I don't have the list, so.
Okay, let's see.
Pick one for me.
Somebody else.
Let's see. Find an individual, group, or organization doing work to combat the climate crisis and give resources to help. This could be your time, your money, or raising awareness.
Okay.
Is that a fair one? Because do you kind of do that already? No,
that's a good one, because I've been looking, I actually have a, with last month's and going back to like reflecting on last month's intention, revitalize the village. I did a good job of like finding groups and organizations that I was like looking for in like film, like I mentioned, also with my spirituality, but I haven't found one that I really want to give back to, or that I really want to focus on for climate change and for environmental work. So I've been looking actually for that, you know, like here in Atlanta. So whether that be like people working on the Beltline, or I know that like the river, or the Chattahoochee River Keeper is really big here too. So maybe helping with the river out. I don't know. There's a lot.
They're awesome. I love that group.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
good. Do they have like events and stuff? And
they do. They used to, and I haven't seen them in a while. So that would be interesting to research. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a great one for me. I'll set that as my intention for the month, to get back out there and help out with the Georgia landscape.
That was interesting. I during this call, somewhere my mind went back to like in my late teens, early 20s, where we would go boating and we would spend the entire weekends, or oh God, sometimes all summer on a boat, and we would go to these islands and I would pick up trash. That would be like all I would do, because I can't sunbathe. I don't have the patience to lie there. Sitting around drinking just didn't do it for me. I had to do things. So I just picked up trash everywhere all the time.
I love that you did that. Oh.
And how long it's been since I've done something like that. So as soon as you said river keepers, it came right back again.
Oh, that memory came back up.
Yeah.
Well, if they do some sort of cleanup or something, we should go out there together.
Yeah.
Clean up the backyard.
I'm in.
Fun.
I'm in.
All right, perfect. Kathleen, you also said you live in Georgia?
Yeah, I live, just north of Atlanta.
Okay, perfect.
Peachtree Corners.
We'll reel you in as well when you get back from your trips.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
Well, thank you, everyone. Is there something to add, to share? We've kind of set some intentions already, but is there anything before we close this circle that you want to add?
I just really want to thank you guys. I feel so 180, you know what I mean? % better than how I felt when I love the space that, you create, Kimberly, and that all of you have brought to the group. I just think it's, I think we all have like kind of similar values, and I'm grateful, for that community.
Well, it's wonderful to get together every month and talk about whatever we're passionate about. And with that said, every one of you, throw some intentions, that things you're working on, things you want to really dive into, and that we could do in upcoming months.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to agree with Kathleen as well. I'm feeling so much better, and I just feel so happy to reconnect with you all again. I definitely feel like this is what I needed, just because I was feeling, like I said, sort of frustrated over the past couple of days, and I just feel like there's a lot of things that are changing, and now I know I just need to go into this month like letting things flow and just keeping the intention of like being kind to the people that are in my space, and not just, get frustrated and irritated and, just sort of let things go and not stress. So definitely I'm really happy that I got on this call.
One thing to keep in mind, this is going to be planetarily, universally speaking, a very emotional month. And there might be some difficulty. So think back to us. Let's reach out to each other if we're having a hard time, whether it is, email anytime if you're having a hard time. We have the Facebook group. We've got the Instagram group, and just each other. Even if it's just a private text or something, please keep in mind. And also keep in mind, every time you have a frustrating moment, look for the moon. And remember that one of us could be doing the same thing, going through a same frustrating moment. Take a deep breath and think of where that moon is at the time. Is it new? Is it about initiation and starting something fresh? Is it full and the light is shining on it and it is something beautiful we need to take a look at? Or is it showing us a shadow we forgot about and we want to get rid of and release? Just take an idea of where it is in the phase and know that the moon, she is always shining for us.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so let's blow this out and do a nice howl. All right, the curious. Was yours ever lit, Christine?
I know. I think it blew out at the beginning.
So the curious aspect in me sees, honors, and respect the curious aspect in each and every one of you. So let's take a deep breath in and out. And on that next deep breath, we're going to howl this motherfucker. All right. I love you all.
All right, love you. Thank you so much.
Bye, ladies. Take
Bye.
good time, y'all. And reconnect.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.